Call in angels and archangels, ascended masters, dragons, unicorns, Phoenix and Pegasus energy, all beings of the light and of the angelic realm that have our best and highest good at heart. We put on angelic cloaks. And we each are in our own pyramid. We have golden white light containing all the colors of the light spectrum coming down now through our chakra system, starting at the stellar gateway, taking its time through each chakra, spending as much time at each chakra as needed to cleanse, rotate, calibrate each chakra, coming down from our source. Grounding through our Earth Star chakra, all the way to the core of Mother Earth at the crystalline grid, wrapping around the core, and then coming back up through our chakras to our heart space, where we ask Source to freely share white light, blue light, and violet flame with all those we know and all those we don't know for the best and highest good of all. We have Lemurian energy present. We have Andromedan energy present. Hold in sacred space for us. As we go through oracles and have our discussion and prepare for meditation. As each of us is being calibrated to our own unique frequency. And so it is, and so it is, and so it shall be. Namaste. Well, what we have is a new moon in Virgo in 2 days. And Virgo can be very self-critical. Virgo is also about taking a time out for yourself. And Virgo is an odd new moon, because when it's emotional like a full moon, it doesn't behave like a new moon. It's emotional like a full moon. It brings up these self-critical emotions. And it's also, Virgo is very overly analytical. Virgo people get in their head a lot, and they're very overly analytical. And so what it also tends to call us to do is not start something brand new. Usually with new moon, we're planting new seeds. Well, Virgo is about something new, but it's like the second new year in a year. Virgo is like the second time in the year where we reorganize things, we declutter things, we try to start new routines, we try to get in a routine, we try to figure out, okay, what have I done that's going right? What do I need to improve upon? So Virgo is actually not a time to start new stuff, but it's to look at what you're already doing and, okay, what's going right about that? And how do I need to improve upon it? So instead of being overly critical of what you've been working on all year and falling into the mindset of, well, I've effed that up big time, or I've wasted how many years on this or whatever. Virgo is a time to step back and get into the energy of, okay, now is the time for me to accept what I'm seeing, the feedback I'm giving myself, but to move forward in a new way. So that's what the Virgo new moon is about. It's also a time, though, another reason why it's a great time to do this. It is, the sun is conjunct with Virgo. That's why it's the new moon, but it's squared with both Mars and Gemini. Now, Gemini is ruled and Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So they're both ruled by the planet of communication. And we have Gemini going on right now too, as we just said, it's squared by that. So we have Virgo and Gemini both conjuncted, and they're both ruled by Mercury. Mercury's communication, but Gemini is verbal communication, and Virgo they don't like to talk about the stuff. They are ruled by communication, but they tend not to communicate about things. And then you've got Mars, which is the ruling planet for both of them. And Mars is about ambition and going after what you want. And so it's a great time to have a new start. Mars is the time to go after what you really want. So the thing to do with this energy is to take that analytical part of yourself, that part that's going to look at yourself and say, okay, what have I been working on all this time? Maybe a long time, maybe just this year. And accept the self-criticism, but love yourself, nurture yourself, be kind to yourself. And instead of wallowing in the self-criticism, instead be very balanced with it and have a balanced conversation with yourself instead of getting in your head and being overly self-critical, and listen to yourself and others about, how can I improve this? What can I do? How can I really do this? And really use this energy to really go for what you really, really want. Do this with perspective. Don't go within yourself like the Virgo tends to do. The Virgo is Hermit energy. Virgo tends to go within themselves, and everything is about Virgo. They see what they're not doing right. They get into perfectionism, and that's a strength. But waiting until something is perfect and never doing it is a weakness. They work on something and work on something and work on something, and they keep it to themselves. Well, that's great. That way other people don't know, but then you don't reap the rewards of it if you never tell anybody. So you have to find the balance of it. And so with Virgo, they're going to have to come into perspective, and the perspective they're going to have to come into is your big dreams and everything that you have, because you do have your Gemini, and Virgo both have big dreams. They're both big dreamers. They're very much alike. But the difference is one is more outgoing with it. One is more withdrawn with it. And so both need to come into balance, and both are ruled by Mercury. Both are they're conjunct right now. And Mars is a big factor right now. And Mars is saying, come on, let's do this. Mars is the energy of, let's be big and bold and let's do this. So this is a time for everyone to use their Virgo energy to Virgo is also one that is a nurturing energy. Virgo goes within and takes time to nurture themselves, take care of themselves. That's a great thing. But when you're doing that, don't get overly critical on yourself. Balance that criticism. And then take that Mars energy and the perspective you've allowed yourself to get, and then go after your dreams. That's what this energy is about. It's also about what true self-care is. True self-care is about decluttering our life and putting our energy where our energy really belongs. It's about figuring out where our energetic bandwidth really goes, not where society says it goes, not where ancestral DNA imprinting says it goes, not the woulda, coulda, shouldas, but where our heart space, our intuition says it goes. So to do that, we have to go within, like the Hermit, and how do I want to feel? What do I want to be? What do I want to experience? And we have to do the Virgo energy and do that. But we also have to have perspective, and we have to realize we have to do the Gemini thing, and we have to come back out. We have to put energy out into the world. True self-care is not going within and just taking care of self. Once we've taken care of self, then we put that energy back out into the world, and then we are attracting in what we've really put the energy into. We're attracting back like energy. And so that is what true self-care is about. That is how we manifest the life we really want. We go within and we determine, how do I want to be treated? How do I want to feel? What do I want to be? What do I want to experience? That's the vibrational frequency I'm in now. I've pulled my energy away from everything that's not in that frequency. I've pulled my energy away from everything not in that frequency. I've called my energy back to myself. I've forgiven everything. So I've brought all that energy up to the vibrational frequency I want to be in. I've pulled it all back to myself. Now I've determined who I am. I've been in hermit mode. I've figured that out. But now true self-care isn't walling yourself up and staying there. We are a people that are in relationship. And so true perspective on things is, now it's time that I let the energy out, so I attract into my life that frequency that I'm in. We don't go running back to all the things. We declutter that. We don't go running back to the same people. They will pull us out of frequency. We don't go running back to the same things we were doing. We will fall out of frequency. We don't go running back to the same habits we had. We don't go back to the old mindsets. We will come out of frequency. So the new things that we adopted, the new ways we were taking care of ourselves, the new habits that we formed, all of that new that where we looked at our lives and we said, what have I been doing all this time? And we weren't overly self-critical, but instead we nurtured ourselves. We decluttered our life. We pulled our energetic bandwidth in. We nurtured ourselves. Well, now we get back out in the world with that energy and stay in that frequency, and we build that life with people of like energy. But we don't bring the other back in. So this new moon in Virgo is a great analogy for what true self-care is. So that's what I wanted us to meditate on with this meditation. I wanted us to meditate on how we wanted to nurture ourselves with this new moon, and what we wanted to declutter from our lives, what we see in our lives that we have done that we want to do differently, and then how we need to nurture ourselves or nurture that ongoing project or whatever it is we decide we need to nurture, and then how we put that into action, how we don't just hermit ourselves and, well, I've got to perfect that, I've got to do perfect, or I'm going to keep it all to myself, or I'm just going to be just alone and stay behind my walls, but how we actually put that out in the world, because it's about perspective. It's not just about us. It's not me. It's It's a world perspective. We are to be part of the world, but in our frequency. Each one of us being in our frequency is what brings all the frequencies up so that the planet comes up in vibrational frequency. So it's imperative that we all come into our frequency and we interact, and we're putting out our vibrational frequency. And so we're putting out positive butterfly effect instead of chaotic butterfly effect. Chaotic butterfly effect is why we're in dense energies and we've got what we've got going on in the world. So when we all come into frequency and then we all start putting out the right energy, our frequency, we will reverse it. And we bring everybody up to frequency. We bring the world into frequency, and we never had a crossword or fired a shot. And so that is how we change the world. That's perspective. But we can't do it by talking all the time like us Geminis, but we can't do it and being self-critical like us Geminis in our head. But we can't do it by hermiting all the time and criticizing ourselves and being perfectionist and never getting out in the world and developing the relationships like a Virgo. We have to balance that. And that's what true self-care is. True self-care is not what we taught for years. For years, we taught that it was talk to the hand, not the face. I'm walled up. I can say no to everybody. I've got that down. Well, no, that was not true self-care. We did true self-care so we could be our best and highest good and be in frequency to be in relationship. That's why we always wanted to bring ourselves into true self-care. We wanted to bring ourselves into frequency to be in relationship, not to be walled up. Relationships that are positive energy loops that edify us and build us back up, not drain us. That's what true self-care is about. So that's the meditation I want us to do, is basically go within, look at ourselves. Is it a project that we need to look at that way? Is it our own life we need to look at that way? And let's feed that some energy. And then let's make that commitment not to be out of balance with that, but to, once we've edified ourselves, then to put that energy back out into the world and realize that this is a new moon meditation and that this is rare for a new moon and that we have the Mars energy attached to it. And so that gives us that desire to go for it. That Mars energy is behind all of this. So the Mars energy is that extra oomph that this is the time to do it. What I read up on it was this is the new moon you don't want to miss, because this is the energy that you don't want to miss, this powerful energy to help you do this. So does anyone have anything to add? I'm
just going to turn my big light out right quick.
Okay. All right. Wendy, you good?
I'm good.
All right. Okay. All right then.
That makes it a little more conducive to meditating without my bright overhead light.
All right. Well, I'm going to move all my crystals over here. I hadn't done that yet. They're scattered all over.
Ken's got comfortable.
Yeah, I see that. Well, I've moved a ton of energy today. So I'm like, really? Y'all are giving me this complex meditation to do tonight after all this energy I've moved today? I thought y'all were going to go easy on me. And no, it's Virgo and Gemini are conjunct and they're ruled by Mercury, and Mars is thrown in the mix, and it's like, what? But yeah, it's about definitely forgiving ourselves is we cannot be overly critical. We cannot be overly critical. That is one of the things we have to learn to do. And of course I teach that's the quantum leap to healing everything, is forgive everything, everyone and everything. Just forgive it. Can't do a damn thing about it now anyway. That's wasted energy, wasted energetic bandwidth. Bring that energy up to the vibrational frequency you want, call it back to you, let it go, let it go, let it go. So that's the same thing to do with your projects. That's the same thing to do with, okay, so I don't have it done. I've been working on it forever. I don't have, been fighting with my brother for 20 years. Let it go. I've been whatever this long-term thing is, or you just working on yourself and you see yourself and you're like, well, I still have that habit and I still do this or whatever. Let it go. Forgive it. We got this Mars energy that says, go for what you want, go for your heart's desire, go for what'll light you up, go for it. We've got Mars energy here to help us, but balance it out. Don't be the Gemini and just talk and get in the air energy and not get it done. But don't be the Virgo and go for perfection and Hermit and never do it. And or if you do it, nobody knows you did it. Don't do that. Be balanced. So don't do so much self-care that's all you ever do is stay stuck within. We do the self-care to put the energy back out into the world. And so that's the meditation. Okay. All right. So let's close our eyes. Breathe in the bright, white, healing light that's all around you. The unconditional love that's all around you. Breathe it into your heart space. Let it clear out all that does not serve you. On the exhale, let all of that go. We're grounded to Mother Earth. We're connected above to Source. We have our guides, those we trust for our best and highest good. Other energetic beings surrounding us to support us and guide us. We definitely have a ton of archangel energy here. Andromedans. So feel the energy that's supporting you, your own guides, your own ancestors, within your own pyramid, your own pink transcendent light, your own aura of protection. As you feel your frequency going up, as you feel your divine masculine, divine feminine energies coming into balance. Just keep breathing in and breathing out unconditional love, letting go of all that does not serve you. Acknowledging every cell of your body. Acknowledging every light ray of the color spectrum that's coming in with this white light, this source light. We're being asked at this time of the Virgo New Moon to not reflect on it as the usual new moon. It's not a time for starting completely over. It's a time for starting over right where we are. The truth is, on this planet, that's how we always have to do things. Energy is always in motion. We're always growing, progressing, healing on the fly. We have to do it in real time. We don't ever really get to stop. So, like the practical Virgo, this new moon makes sense. But Virgo can sometimes be overly critical. But to balance that out, Virgo also will take the time to spend time alone, to rest. This particular new moon is more watery, more emotional, more like a full moon. So the overthinking Virgo energy, we're not to let the emotional aspect of that go into self-criticism. Instead, we are to be nurturing of ourselves and forgiving. We're to practice true self-care. We want to use this energy to figure out what is it in our lives that we need to take a true look at or listen to others about from a balanced perspective, true perspective. What is it that we've really wanted, or how is it we've really wanted to be, that we could use this Mars energy to finally have our heart's desire? Instead of overthinking it, being self-critical, or just thinking about it until it's perfect, or having it in the mix for so long and just not getting it done. Or maybe it's something about ourselves that for years and years we've dealt with, and we just haven't got it there yet. We're just not quite where we want to be yet. Whatever it is, all the energies are coming into play right now with this new moon to help us do all of that. And the answer is truly true self-care. The same formula, because it's the way energy works. Energy is about what frequency do you want to be in. Find that frequency and hold it. Now, to hold that frequency, what do you need to change or eliminate, or how do you need to redistribute your energetic bandwidth? So when you put that energy out and attract that back into you, you have the energetic bandwidth to maintain that frequency and keep that in your life. That's what true self-care has always been about. What is it I truly want? Let me treat myself that way. Let me get myself in alignment with that. But not perfection. Because the world keeps turning and you don't have time to aim for perfection. The Mars energy says, go for it now. Think on it a little bit, hermit on it a little bit, but then be like the Gemini, speak up, go for it. Virgo and Gemini coming into balance. Mercury and Mars bringing them into balance. Now is the time. Bring yourself into frequency. How do I want that project to be? What changes need to be made? What do I see that needs to be different? With my analytical mind, what is it telling me? And then don't overthink it, but just do it. Or about myself, what is it I truly want? What do I need to let go of to do it? And then just let go and do it. Yes, put the time into yourself, but then put the energy back out into the world. Don't wall yourself up, but put your frequency back out into the world. The reason we tend to not do this, the reason we put the walls up, is because the lessons we learned, the ego, is we've been there, done that, that didn't work, so we put walls up. You were in a different level of consciousness then. What you have learned to do now is to forgive everything, including yourself. Pull your energy back to yourself. Put yourself in vibrational frequency and put different energy out. You don't have the same parameters this time, therefore your outcome will be different. But you cannot go back to the old energies. And that's what the ego has to learn. We've reprogrammed the scenario. You don't know this program, ego. We're going to shine this time. We're going to shine. So take a few moments and think about, how do you need to nurture yourself? Or what project, what is it you need to nurture for this new moon period in Virgo? And then what is your heart's desire around it? Once you've nurtured it, once you've gotten it into frequency, what do you need to do so it can shine? Think on that. And then we're going to call the energies in to help us ground that. Now, at your third eye space, at the third eye chakra, envision that, whether it's a change in you, a project, whatever it is, see it vividly, paint it vividly, putting motion into it, put feeling into it, put that Mars energy behind it, that's my heart's desire. That's what I want. I'm going to be balanced. I'm going to be in frequency. I'm going to balance my Virgo and balance the Gemini. And I'm going to use that Mars energy too. And I'm going to have this now. I'm going to do it this time. Put all that energy into it and envision it at your third eye space. Breathing in and out of your third eye. Third eye is getting brighter and brighter. It's coming more and more into view. And if that's not happening for you, that's okay. Just set the intention. It's energy. It works with intention. Now you're feeling it. You're letting yourself feel it all over. It's like you're there. It's like it's happening. The universe works off of frequency, energy, in motion, emotion. Feel how good this will feel for you. And if it's good for you, that means you're in frequency. The right frequency, that means it's good for everyone. The universe is on board totally if it's good for you. So put that energy out there, feel it. Now breathe that in from your third eye. Bring it down your chakra system and exhale it out the root to Mother Earth and ask her to ground it. Again, breathe it in through the third eye. Exhale down through the root chakra for Mother Earth to ground. And one last time, this time closing that third eye up. Breathe it all in, feel all the intensity, see it, feel it, be it, experience it. Exhale it all to Mother Earth. Third eye's closing, coming back to ourselves, giving it all to Gaia to ground for us, to hold for us. We exhale, coming back to self now, regulating our breath, pulling pure, clean energy up from Gaia, up to our heart space, sharing it freely again. Unconditional love with all the world, all we know and all we don't know, for the best and highest good of all. Thankful to Mother Gaia for grounding us, and for grounding our new moon vision. Thankful to all the energies at play to help us with our vision. Thankful to all those who came in to support us, all the energies here to support us. And as we sit here, surrounded by all of these supportive energies, in pink transcendent love, gold wisdom, bright white, healing light, unconditional love, connected above and below, balanced, divine feminine, divine masculine. We know our intention has gone out. As long as we hold our frequency, it's energy. Therefore, it will work. That's how energy works. What we put out attracts back to us the same frequency. And so it is, and so it is, and so it shall be. Namaste.